let's get into our interview. Oh man, I'm excited to hear all about this. So we have Chris from Smart Casual here in the studio. G'day, Chris. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
You are welcome. So you're 1/4 of Smart Casual.
Yeah,
yes,
that's right.
If you want to let us know your role in the band and who's missing.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm the drummer in the band, also sometimes known as the accounts man because I run the group bank account. And then missing, we've got Blake, who's our lead guitarist. I'd also call him the band guru because he sort of leads us spiritually in all that we do, I think. We've also got Ewan on the bass, the band dad. I'd say he's the most mature of us for sure and keeps us in line at all of our gigs. And then the front man, the charming Toby Morwich, who's the lead singer and rhythm guitarist. So they unfortunately couldn't make it today, but I'm very happy to be here on behalf of all of them.
All right. Well, yeah, they've sent the accountants. That's to deal with it. All right. Well, I'm glad you're here. Thank you for coming along.
Of course.
So tell us a bit about the band. How long have you been together? How did you meet? And where did the name come from?
Yeah, we've been playing together for quite a long time now in sort of different formations, but as the band is now, it's been a couple of years, I believe. But me, Toby and Ewan all met, it was pre-COVID, I think 2019, in Canberra, of course. And we just sort of started jamming together. We started with the brand of a lake surf rock band. So being a Canberra band, and a Canberra band that plays sort of indie surf rock, we thought, how can we be a surf rock band in a town that isn't by the beach? So we decided to be a lake surf rock band. And yeah, sort of, we'd spend afternoons down by the lake hoping that there might be some sort of freak show of nature and all of a sudden there'd be a wave on the lake. It never happened, but I've heard that on a real windy day it can happen. So that was the early beginnings, and then COVID happened. Everything slowed up for a while. A few of us went overseas, and then eventually when things started opening up again, we met Blake and he was keen to come on board. And that was, 2.5 years ago, and since then we've been recording lots together, playing lots together, and having a great time doing it. And the name, that was the brainchild of Toby. I can't claim credit for that. In the early days, we were just searching for inspiration for some name. We wanted a name that was memorable and a bit clever, so hopefully we achieved there, I'm not sure. But the basic premise was just that we think that Smart Casual is the worst dress code ever. Yeah, someone tells you to dress Smart Casual and it's like, well, does that mean button-up shirt and suit pants, or does it mean jeans and a polo? There's a whole sort of spectrum of what Smart Casual is.
It's too vague.
It's so vague. So I guess maybe we were thinking about future merch sales, and we thought maybe if we just make a shirt that says Smart Casual on it, and everyone can just wear that to every function. But yeah, that's where the name came from.
Have you ever seen those T-shirts that look like the front of a tuxedo on the front?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, that would be perfect. Maybe that's a merch idea.
Yes, the Smart Casual range. All right. Also, because it's in lowercase and one word, because I noticed there's a Sydney band called Smart Casual, but they're two words.
Yeah, which I don't think we've come across them.
Okay.
Yeah, we tried to do our research before deciding on a name, and found, I think, an old comedy band from Melbourne that had two words, Smart Casual, but hadn't seen them play for a few years, so we thought we were safe. But yeah, as far as we know, there's no lowercase one word Smart Casual other than us, so that's good news. just Canberra's own lake surfer band. Yeah, that's it.
All right, well, you're here today to talk about the band's debut EP. It came out last month, I believe, February 26th. 5 tracks on it. how excited are you guys to have your debut album out?
Yeah, very, very excited. It's been a long time coming, and we wanted to create a body of work that was more than sort of 5 separate singles. So the whole sort of structure of the EP is that it goes from start to finish, and there's a bit of a story that flows through it. So earlier last year, we released a couple of the songs as singles, and that was awesome. Super exciting to have them out. But to have it all out now as 5 songs that you can press play on and listen all the way through is really, really cool.
That was my other question. Is there a story or a theme that ties the songs together?
Yeah. I might not be the best person to talk about this, but I can do my best.
Well, you're the one here, mate.
Yeah, that's true. That qualifies me.
I can't answer it.
Yeah, so songwriting for us is definitely a collaborative process. But often Toby, our front man, will come up with sort of the bones of the songs. So there's not a sort of, set story throughout the 5 songs, but they all sort of follow themes of our lives and themes of, I think, times of change and feeling a lot of feelings through change, so heartbreak, but also the opportunity to go out with your friends and have fun. And there's a lot of sort of themes of nostalgia throughout the EP as well. And that's part of why it's called Funland, which I hope I'm not jumping the gun there, but I think Funland is that idea of this childhood paradise and a place where you just get to have a good time with your mates is sort of what ties them all together as a body of work.
Right, yep. And of course, whenever I hear the term Funland, I think of Funland in Ulladulla. I spent a lot of my childhood there, and you guys actually have a photo of the building for the cover artwork, although it's not artwork, it's a photo.
Yeah.
Which came first, the photo and then the name of the EP, or the name of the EP then the photo?
I suppose the photo, or the idea of the photo, came first, if we're being honest. But it was, so that building, that Funland sign, was just the aesthetic inspiration for the EP. So we'd, I think it was before we'd started recording, but we was starting to write those songs and think about what they meant, that we were thinking of what the name would be for the whole body of work. And we were driving through Ulladulla every now and again when we were on the south coast, and when you're driving down that road, you see the big red Funland letters, and they just screamed out at us as having that energy of what we wanted from those 5 songs. So from then on it was Funland, the EP, and it only felt right to have the album artwork as what we saw when we were driving past that building.
I love it. Was there any challenges while recording? Any unexpected surprises in the studio or otherwise? Yeah,
definitely. I think there always are, as you would also know.
Yes.
So we actually self-produced and recorded this EP in our home, which was really special because it took away the stress you might sometimes feel in studios, or at least we can sometimes.
You don't have that time constraint, perhaps.
Yeah, exactly. So it was a really special space to finally record a body of work. And Blake kind of stepped in as the main producer and engineer for the whole thing, and we had a few mates help out as well. There were a lot of challenges in setting up our living room as a studio, absolutely, and it took a few test runs of early songs before we got the setup right. And then after that, it was a couple of weeks of one big sleepover at home until we were happy with it all. So, a lot of hiccups along the way, but we're very happy with where it ended up.
Oh, indeed. It sounds great. Let's listen to one of the tracks. We're going to go with the first track from the EP. It's called Trouble. What can you tell us about this song?
This one is definitely one of my favourites. It's really just about, it's pretty self-explanatory, I think. It's about running into trouble with your friends, having a great night out or a great day out somewhere, and just I don't know, throwing caution to the wind and seeing what happens.
Brilliant. All right. This is Trouble by Smart Casual from their new EP, which is called Funland, already out on all the streaming sites. Let's have a listen.
At 2XX FM 98.3, your support is important to us. Become part of your community station by subscribing, donating, sponsoring, or volunteering. Visit us at 2xxfm.org.au.
And you're tuned into LocalnLive. I'm your host, Spaceman Africa. I'm joined by Chris from local band Smart Casual, and just then we heard their track Trouble, which is from their new EP called Funland, available on all these streaming sites. Now, Chris, I need to ask you about the launch party. This is the mother of all launch parties. An 8-band lineup tomorrow with none other than Tied Lion, for example, on the bill. So tell us about this gig.
Yeah, this gig is something we've dreamed of doing for a really long time, and we're all so excited to be putting it on tomorrow. So the idea kind of all started to do a mini festival in Canberra about a year ago when we played a show at Sideway, which unfortunately has closed down since, but Sideway was an awesome venue, as most people in Canberra would know. And we played a show there. It sold out, I think, a week before the show. And it was just, the whole room was full of energy. And we felt so much love and appreciation for Canberra that we thought, let's try to do something really, really special and bring some bands to Canberra that might not otherwise come through. And since then we've been talking to UC, been talking to the bands and lining it all up so that now finally tomorrow we can put on this big party, both for our EP but also just for Canberra music in general and for all of the bands that are playing tomorrow.
Brilliant. Yes, as you mentioned, it's at the UC tomorrow. Doors are at 4:00. Tickets through Moshtix. Ticket prices are about $50. Now, there's 8 bands. Do you know them off the top of your head, or shall I list them here?
I reckon I could do it.
Okay, yeah.
So we got Tired Lion, Verge Collection, Egoism, Smart Casual, which is us, Sonic Reducer, Swap Meet, Archie, and Sunsick Daisy. I think I got them all.
That's what I've got here. Yeah,
Awesome.
Well done. And so Tired Lion, of course, a big national band from Brisbane, we think.
Yeah.
Verge Collection and Egoism from Interstate.
Yeah.
Smart Casual from Canberra, of course. Sonic Reducer, big Canberra band. Swap Meet and Sunsick Daisy are both Interstate.
Yeah, they're both from Adelaide.
Adelaide, yeah,
doing
which
the
is
long
where you're
trip
from,
over.
yes?
Yeah, where I grew up, so it's very cool to have them along.
And Archie, of course, are local heroes.
Absolutely.
In the blurb, it says, not just a show, there'll be plenty of fun activities on the day, so get down early. Any hints as to what these fun activities might be?
Oh, yeah. Well, we've announced them all, so
Okay.
I can tell you.
Please do.
It's pretty exciting. We're going to have Grease Monkey. It's going to be there.
Right, yeah.
So you'll be fed all day. We'll have a face painter there for a couple of hours. So, yeah, we really wanted to make it feel like a festival and a carnival. So you can get your face painted. We're going to have carnival games all around the place.
It is going to be a fun land. Yeah.
That's right, yeah. There'll be basketball hoops, bit of cornhole. I've heard that there will be those inflatable people that are at car salesmen
All right, yeah.
places flapping around in the wind,
Yeah.
which will be awesome. And then we'll also have a couple of DJs there. So between every band, while the next band's setting up, there'll be a DJ playing outside. Yep. And then after Tired Lion, there'll be a whole hour of a DJ, so people can stick around if they feel like it.
Indeed. So this really is a festival. Funland is a very apt title. How did you guys come about organising it all? I think you kind of explained that. How did you go about choosing the bands for the lineup? Yeah, so
we wanted to pick bands that we really love and bands that inspired the EP. So Blake, who isn't here, but his day job is as a booking agent. So he kind of has the know-how, and he led the charge on all this. We just reached out to some of our favourite Australian bands, and it was a long, tricky process, but we eventually landed on this lineup, which is really, really cool. So, yeah, it was as simple as that, really. Bands that we love and we want to see and meet and think that the people of Canberra will really love too.
All right, I'm going to do a bit of... I wanted to swear there, but I'm going to stir things up a bit.
Okay.
Bit of rivalry. If the 8 bands were to compete in a battle royale, a fight to the death, last man standing, who would win and why?
That's a great question. Well, an obvious answer here would be Smart Casual. I should back myself. But
you're on the home ground.
Blake did used to train in boxing, so he'd have an advantage there.
Yep.
But as for the rest of us, I'm not actually sure that we'd hold up very well. I haven't met some of the bands either, so that makes it a bit trickier. But Sonic Reducer are obviously, they play some cool, heavier music, which gives me the impression that, they do quite well.
They're all very tall as well.
Yeah. So maybe Sonic Reducer. That might have to be the answer.
Yeah. Well, good answer.
Hopefully we won't have to find out.
Yeah. No, I'm just trying to stir things up. But this is actually also, this show tomorrow is part of a national tour you're on, which you're halfway through, I believe. You've played already in Adelaide?
Yeah, that's right. So we played Adelaide about a week ago and then Sydney last night.
Okay, it's going well?
Yeah, going very well. It's always awesome to play around the country and, we all have friends and family in different cities and different parts of the country, and we're starting to build a fan base in those places as well. And really, when I say fan base, I just mean people we meet at gigs and become friends. Mm-hmm. So it's really, really cool to travel around and see them all and get to play for them. It's been really fun.
And what else has the band got lined up after tomorrow going forward?
Yeah, so next week we've got Wollongong on Thursday at a venue called La La La's, which is really awesome. Excited to play there. And then the night after that we're in Melbourne at Yaya's, which is also it's one of my favourite venues in Australia, I think. I don't know if you've been there.
No.
Okay, it's great. If anyone's ever in Melbourne, absolutely check it out. And then the next week after that, we're in Newcastle.
The Nanas or something?
No, not quite. That one's at the Hamilton Station Hotel.
Okay,
yeah.
Right. Nice, all right. Well, Chris, thanks very much for coming in today.
Of course.
We're going to go out with one more track. It's from your new EP. It's called Disgusting. What can you tell us about this one? Yeah,
so this one it's sort of the closer of the EP before the bonus track, which is Late Night SBS. Well, it's not a bonus track, but it's a silly one. If anyone's ever seen us live, they'll know it's a bit of a silly one. So Disgusting sort of wraps up the other 4 songs. It's about letting go of the past and looking forward, and I really love it. I think it's got great energy throughout the whole song and leans more on the pop side maybe, and I'm a big fan of pop music, so it makes me very happy.
All right. Well, once again, thanks very much for coming in. So tomorrow, Smart Casual have their launch party. It's going to be huge. It's at the UC Hub. It starts at 4, tickets $50. There's going to be 8 bands. There's going to be carnival rides. There's going to be face painting, people. Come on.
Yeah, you can't miss that.
Cornhole, and what was the other cool thing you mentioned? Oh, the inflatable guys people that you'd normally see at a car yard.
Yeah.
So, come on. They've put in a lot of effort. All right. And we're going to go out with their track, Disgusting. Here we go.